Welcome to yet another episode of Cougar Tales. Our broadcast is produced every week by the broadcasting class. It is our goal to show our audience the inspiration and preparation that is flooding our hallways and classrooms. I'm your anchor, Buck Welch, and now we will send it over to this week's Star Spotlight.
I'm Ellie Sachs, your Star Spotlight, Alex Lamore. How are you today, Alex?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing, Ellie?
I'm doing great. Is it okay if we ask you a few questions?
Yep.
Okay, so can you explain a little bit about what the Believers and Achievers program is?
So the Believers and Achievers is this award that I got through the NSAA, and I was nominated by the staff here at Conestoga, and I was one of the 48 in the state to receive it, and it's just a really great honor.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So how do you handle the stress of being involved in many activities at one time?
Definitely trying to find a balance between everything, making sure that you still have enough time for your life with still doing so many activities, and just really it's just all time management.
Yeah. As a senior, what are your plans for college?
My plans for when I go to college are to go to an architecture school, either in Nebraska or out of Nebraska, and work towards getting my master's.
Sweet. So what advice do you have for underclassmen who also want to be leaders in our school?
Join the Breakfast Club. That would be my biggest piece of advice. I feel like you can really learn a lot from your peers, and just getting to work with one another and hear what everybody has to say about certain things can really open your eyes about certain issues.
Awesome. So how has Conestoga prepared you for life?
I feel as though the teachers have really given me everything I need to know for college as far as like my education. But I also feel like it really has taught me a lot about making relationships, not just with students, but with teachers, that one-on-one that will help me in college and in the workplace.
Awesome. Well, thank you for talking with us today, and good luck with the rest of the year.
Thank you.
This year's OneActs production, cast and crew, performs the play Antigone Now at their annual dinner theater on Thursday. Parents of the cast provided dinner for the audience with a charge as a way to fundraise for the program. This team will compete at Elkhorn South High School on Saturday night and the ECNC competition on Tuesday. Good luck, cast and crew. NoShave November this year is put on by the Conestoga FBLA chapter. November in Australia, the United States, and Canada is often associated with NoShave November, a movement that encourages men to grow out their facial hair as a symbol of cancer awareness. This year, the Conestoga FBLA is raising money for cancer research by having a contest fundraiser. This money will be taken by FBLA straight to cancer research.
Trypophobia is the fear of holes. This is an odd one, but take a look at these pictures. Do they give you a little bit of anxiety? If so, you might suffer from trypophobia.
Pagonophobia is the fear of fears. With all that is going on with NoShave November, people who suffer from pagonophobia might struggle with seeing Mr. Keen on a daily basis.
Hippomonstrosequipedeliophobia is the fear of long words. Ironic, right? This might seem really irrational, and it probably is, but how do these words make you feel?
Anti-disestablishmentarianism. Mono-ultra-microscopic silico-volcanocanosis. Floxin-oxin-hilipilification.
Nomophobia is the fear of being away from phone service. What can I say? So many of us are guilty of this. However, I feel like going to school in the middle of a cornfield with little to no service whatsoever has helped us all face this fear.
Coulrophobia is the fear of clowns. After the clown epidemic in 2017 and the release of It, people have become more and more afraid of clowns. And in reality, if you can fit that many of you into a tiny car, you've got to be at least a little terrifying.
My dear son, it's almost June. I hope this
United States Marine Corps.
and find you well.
What do you mean by experience? I mean, the service is the service, and the Marines was a pretty tough outfit to belong to. You know, and boot camp scared the heck out of me. And from there, I was aboard a Navy ship, so I wasn't in any real action. But we saw some, but not very much.
And she goes on.
Well, like I say, we were aboard a Navy ship. We were protecting the missiles from the Navy, if that makes any sense. But when the Santo Domingo crisis happened, we were the first Marines in. And we got back out of there. And that's the only action I actually saw. So we just traveled port to port, Hawaii, Santo Domingo, you know, like that.
In my shirt, pick up my gun and get back to work.
That's a loaded question. When the reason I went into the Marine Corps is the judge told me we had to either go into the service or go to jail. So I went into the service, and that straightened me out really good. So I owe my life to that judge and the Marine Corps.
I've been lying here all night long, wondering where you might.
In my immediate family, just my dad. He was in the Air Force, and he retired a few years ago, and then he's a teacher at the elementary school now. My grandpa, he fought in World War II, and a bunch of my aunts and my uncles have also been involved in the military.
And this is me kissing.
Me personally, I think it's given me a really good understanding of how much work people have to put into just do those types of jobs. Like, my dad wasn't an active duty member. Like, he never went to war or anything like that, but he did a lot of computer work, and even that took a lot out of him. And having to move to different places, I just think it's given me a really good understanding of how much families have to go through.
Fold it up and put it in my shirt.
I think it's important because it's always good to honor those who have fought for everyone else's rights and beliefs. I think it's good that we remember and we let them know that we still remember and honor them.
Our next topic that we're going to discuss is recovery. So we're going to have a 4-video segment covering different ways that we utilize recovery at Conestoga. The first one that we're going to cover is called DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. This is soreness that you feel within your muscles 24 to 48 hours after exercising. The best way to get rid of DOMS are to go through the same exercise that you did or that made you sore. So if we did a back squat or a front squat, the next day we might want to do body weight squats. What this does is it allows blood to get to the muscles to allow them to recover, get those nutrients to your muscles to allow them to recover. So if we just did back squat or front squat, yesterday I would have Zach do just a body weight squat for me. So Zach's going to do a body weight squat for us. He's going to do about 10 to 12 reps there. And all he's doing is trying to get his joints to go through the same range of motion as what he did his back squat or front squat the day before that with a heavier load. And he's going to get those muscles to recover better. The other way that we could do that is we bench press yesterday, and he swore from his bench press. We just have him lay down with just the bar or a lighter load than what he used the day before. He'll just do about 5 reps there. Again, he's getting his joints to a range of motion that we did yesterday or the day before, and he's allowing the blood to get to those muscles to allow for recovery. So that's the best way to relieve yourself from DOMS.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Activities Analysis here for Cougar Tales. And we're going to go in depth today on the winter sports season coming up.
First up, boys basketball. They have 8 returning letter winners. They expect everyone to lead at some point throughout the season, and they expect to be better in February than they are at the moment, growing and developing each day.
And they had a couple wins last year that they can build off of, Zach. So how do you think they're going to do this year?
I feel like they're going to be a lot better. They have some more experience now, definitely a lot more experience. I think they're just going to put it all together this year and win some more games.
Yeah, and like what you touched on there, they were really young last season, and this season they'll just build on that, and that'll be fun to watch. It'll be fun to watch them this year.
Yes, definitely.
So the next team we're going to go into is girls basketball, and they have a couple returns this year, but they're a very young team, and the young players need to step up to be leaders this season. for them to have some success. And they've got a total of 8 returning letter winners. And their goal this season is just to compete every day.
I feel like this year might be a little more of a rebuilding year for them. They have a new coach, new system, they have to get that down. But I still feel like they're going to do pretty good, compete.
Yeah.
They have a pretty tough schedule too, so that's hard. But I feel like they'll compete.
Yeah, definitely. And they're young, and it'll be fun to watch them once they get older and just get better over the year.
Especially like once this group of freshmen is seniors, I think they'll be special. They'll be competing really good. Next up is wrestling. A few of the leaders that were picked out at the beginning of the year: Cesar Sandoval, Braden Ruffner, Dawson Hardesty, Keegan Cheney. Just felt like those guys really stepped up and were there all the time, put in the hard work so far, even in the preseason conditioning stuff. They also have 8 returning letter winners.
12, right?
12 returning letter winners. Excuse me. And they feel like they have good enough athletes to repeat a 2012 season where they sent 6 state where they had 6 state qualifiers.
That's crazy. That'd be a lot if a little Class C school like us could send at least 6 or maybe even more than that.
Mm-hmm. They are moving up to Class B, so the competition's going to be a little harder, a lot bigger schools, but I feel like we can handle it. We have some pretty good guys.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be interesting to watch them too this year. They got 2 seniors, so they have Zane and Caesar this year, and they'll be pretty good leaders, I think. And yeah, it'll be fun to watch them.
Yep.
That concludes this week's activities analysis.
Tune in next week.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Rainey, and this is Rainy Weather Report. Sunday will be sunny with a high of 47 and a low of 36. As we head into the middle of our week, it will be mostly sunny with a high of 41 and a low of 29. Saturday, at the end of our week, will be a high of 52 and a low of 37. This is the Rainy Report. Thank you, I'm Jasmine Rainey.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of The Cougar Tales. As always, we work hard each week to provide you with the best information from Cougar Nation. Have a great week, Conestoga.